The authors do not have any financial interests to disclose. Cataract surgery is the commonest surgery performed by ophthalmologists, and phacoemulsification is the standard of care today. In this video, we have highlighted the important complications during all steps of phacoemulsification, with the main objective of educating surgeons to recognize complications early and manage them effectively. In these days of refractive cataract surgery, wound construction is a vital step in surgery. Irregular wounds giving rise to improper wound healing and significant postoperative astigmatism, and long corneal tunnels causing stromal hydration and decreased visualization during surgery thereafter are problems which arise if adequate care is not taken during wound construction. Corneal thermal burns, which can arise due to excessive phaco energy and a tight wound, can be prevented by good wound construction, avoiding excess phaco power, and using cold phaco techniques. Problems during capsulorhexis leading to a rhexis tear make all subsequent steps difficult for the surgeon. Lost rhexis in a hypermature cataract due to increased interlenticular pressure. Escaping rhexis in a hypermature cataract being retrieved by microcapsular forceps. A lost rhexis can be prevented by keeping the anterior chamber deep and using high molecular weight viscoelastics. Difficulty in nucleus rotation due to inadequate hydrodissection can give rise to problems like zonular dialysis due to use of excessive force while attempting to rotate an immobile nucleus. This can be prevented by doing a good 4-quadrant hydrodissection. Sudden anterior chamber collapse due to inadequate inflow and excessive vacuum. This can be prevented by ensuring good influx into the eye and avoiding excess vacuum. This video shows iris chaffing during microphaco, which may be encountered when operating in small pupils or a shallow anterior chamber. Using high molecular weight viscoelastics to maintain anterior chamber depth, proper vacuum settings, and taking care to avoid drawing iris into the phaco probe can prevent this. Iris prolapse can occur due to a short corneal tunnel. This can be prevented by ensuring good hypotony during surgery and avoiding a shallow tunnel. You can see the forward movement of the capsular margin and the equator in a zonular dialysis. Zonular dialysis should be anticipated in eyes with pseudoexfoliation, vitrectomized eyes, hard cataracts, and in traumatic cataract. Bimanual techniques and an endocapsular ring can be used to stabilize the bag. Posterior capsular rent is one of the most dreaded complications during cataract surgery. It can occur at any stage of surgery from hydro procedures to during IOL implantation. Sudden deepening of the anterior chamber, difficulty in rotation of the nucleus, decreased followability of the nuclear pieces, tilting of the nuclear fragments, and appearance of a bright red reflex in the posterior capsule are clues to the presence of a posterior capsule rent. Steps to prevent a posterior capsular rent include stepping down parameters during removal of the last nuclear fragment, catching the anterior and not the posterior edge of the cortical fibers during cortex removal, and increasing the vacuum only after bringing the cortical fibers to the center of the pupil. Nucleus drop is a nightmare which no phacosurgeon would like to encounter. Fragments can drop during segment removal, or the whole nucleus can drop during hydrodissection with the characteristic pupil snap sign. Management of a nucleus drop depends on the stage at which it occurs and the experience of the operating surgeon. An experienced phacosurgeon can try to retrieve a sinking nucleus by posterior assisted levitation through the pars plana, or the patient can be referred to a vitreoretinal surgeon for further management after a thorough anterior vitrectomy. Signs of an impending nucleus drop are the pupil snap sign, sudden deepening of the anterior chamber, and loss of lens followability. Extremely rare situations which can give surprises to the surgeon include a broken tip of the phaco probe lying free in the anterior chamber, cracking of the chopper, and the phaco sleeve loosening during surgery. Increased mobility of the nucleus which seems to have a mind of its own with no intention of being drawn towards the phaco probe as seen in this case of a Morgagnian cataract. Cracking of a foldable intraocular lens during implantation is not uncommon. A crack can occur either on the optic or the optic haptic junction. This can be prevented by using time-tested injector systems for IOL implantation. Posterior capsular rupture during IOL implantation or an unrecognized PCR can result in the IOL dropping into the vitreous. I am sure all of us cataract surgeons must have come across some of these complications during our surgical journey. The key to a successful outcome for our patients is not to panic, but to be prepared to tackle complications in a calm and composed manner. Prevention, early recognition, and appropriate management of intraoperative complications go a long way in ensuring good postoperative outcomes to our patients and comprise the ultimate test of a cataract surgeon's knowledge and skill.